Caroline Collins-Murphy is here from Tullamore Credit Union, as is her colleague, the mortgage officer, Cathriona Owens. The credit union movement, of course, since about, 2019, you've been offering mortgages?
We actually offered mortgages going back about 15 years ago. And they were known as asset loans, but they're only a 15-year term. So then in 2019, from feedback from our members, basically, we reanalyzed what we were offering to our members, and we offered mortgages, and the term mortgages appeared, if you like, on our website and in our offering, and it went to 250,000 over 25 years. And then we had a relook again there in May, and we found with house prices rising in Tullamore and with first-time buyers trying to get on the property market, that we weren't within their, their price bracket, if you like, the range that they needed. So we increased that to 350 over 25 years, and it's been great uptake since.
Can I ask about the burning issue, which is rate?
Yes.
What's the rate of interest at the moment?
Okay, so the rate of interest at the moment is 4.2%, and that will be about 4.3 APR. And it's slightly higher than the market rate if you were to do a comparison. I suppose a good website for the listeners to look at is ccpc.ie, which will do your mortgage comparisons across banks, and then you can compare it to what the credit union offering is. But I suppose if you take into account, we've had 3 rises in the European Central Bank rate, July, September, and only recently, last Thursday, the rate increased again.
Yeah, 3/4 of 1%.
Yeah, so you're looking at, if those 3 rates were passed on, that's an increase of 1.5% on top of what somebody is paying. The credit union rate did not move. I suppose the way we look at our rates are slightly different than a bank. We don't have to go out to market for cost of funds. So our rate will stay at 4.2%. We have no plans of moving it. So it gives people that little bit of comfort when they're looking at their mortgage. Don't repay over the term and compare like for like. And
for how long can you make that commitment, though? Because I know in December, another increase is expected from the ECB. There may be others next year.
Potentially, yeah. I suppose, as I said, different than a bank, because we don't have that cost of funds factor where we're going out to market, if you like, to get the money to lend back out. We're using our member savings, and that's what a cooperative is all about. And I can tell you the credit union have plenty of savings and plenty of comfort there for that 4.2%.
So do you have to be a member to avail of all this?
So you need to be within our common bond. So with credit unions, we have an area that we're allowed to offer our services, our products to. So if you live or work within our common bond, you're entitled to membership of the credit union. And when you're entitled to membership, you're entitled to apply for a loan or a mortgage.
And you can apply on the same day as becoming, you don't have to be a member for a certain length of time. You can apply on the same day.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's say you want to buy out your council house. Your income is low. Is it worth applying?
100%. We have a product called a secured tenant purchase. And that is exactly for that purpose, for someone who is renting off the council and who wants to buy their house from the council. And they will have gotten a valuation from the council and an offer, if you like. And what we've seen is they're getting a sizable discount on the property value, and they can apply through ourselves, and we're quite happy to take on a secure tenant purchase mortgage.
We're looking at different questions that have come in now. Is now a good time to fix? Okay, this is maybe not so much a credit union question, but a general finance principle.
I suppose I'll answer that by saying now's a good time to look at your mortgage with Tullamore Credit Union and do it the credit union way. Yeah. But yes, I would recommend that anybody who has a mortgage looks at their rate at the moment, whether they're variable or fixed. They may be just coming out of a fixed rate. They may have just, built a house 5 years ago and just coming out. Now's the time, to look at what the rates are there on the market, both fixed and variable, because can you afford an increase of anything from €40 a month on 100 grand mortgage to 180 a month on a 350,000 mortgage? What's the impact going to be on your lifestyle going forward with bills rising? Are you going to be able to afford it? So yes, definitely, I would say now's the time for everybody to review their mortgage, whether they're variable or fixed.
What if your partner is on a fixed term 2-year contract and you're looking for a joint mortgage together? So when they don't have that permanent job, what way do you look at it,
Yeah,
Cathriona?
we still look at it. Yeah, we'd look at all cases, regardless of their fixed term or permanent. We actually had a case recently where someone was on a fixed term contract. We were still able to offer them a mortgage.
Okay.
Depending on their profession, if we see that they can still get a job in the long run, you know, with a different company or whatever, they would be able to.
Yeah, so if they're a software engineer, for
Yeah,
instance.
you'd know that they'll have a job regardless. They'll won't find a problem getting it.
Now, another caller is asking about calculators. So if you're trying to work out affordability and whether it's within your price range and you don't necessarily want to go through the whole rigmarole of the meeting, can you make an online tool available?
Yeah, there is one on our website. So www.tullamorecu.ie. There is a loan calculator on that for all of our loans, not just our mortgages.
And just a little easy tip, I suppose, from the credit union is €100,000 of a mortgage would work out at a repayment about €540 a month. So it's €5.40 per thousand. So if you're looking at a house that's 185,000 in Tullamore, multiply the 540 by 185, and that'll give you an idea of what your mortgage repayment would be per month.
Caller says they're presently with a vulture fund. How do they get released and over to you guys? Is it like moving from a bank, or is it a more complicated process?
So literally they phone up and just see what the settlement figure is, the full and final settlement figure is. They'll need to have that figure so that they know what they're working with. Are they working with 100,000 that they need a mortgage from ourselves from the 100,000? But it's very similar to you switching from KBC or Ulster Bank to the credit union. You're looking at what's the figure that you need to remortgage or switch as such, and we work out the repayments on that. And again, Cathriona, look at the paperwork, make sure the affordability is there. Very similar to your standard mortgage. Yeah.
Okay. Next caller says they're not in your area, but they're living somewhere and the house is still in negative equity. What views do credit unions take on a property where the amount drawn down exceeds the value of the home?
I think, you know, with credit unions and banks alike, you're going to find it difficult because you do have, I suppose, thresholds you have to adhere to with central bank regulation. Like for the first time buyer, it has to be 90%. With your second hand, it's 85. And I know they're bringing that up to 90 in January, but we have to make sure that it falls within that remit.
All right. So presumably keep paying on the existing loan until you are in positive equity?
Until you're in positive. When's the last time they had a valuation done on the property? You know, like if you look at the increase in the property market over the last 12 months, even some areas, properties increased by anything from 11 to 17%. So they may not be in that negative equity space, have it valued or have, you know, a drive-by valuation. I know some of the auctioneers will do, depending on the area, which is a little bit more cost effective.
All right. Guys, we're out of time already and many questions we haven't gotten around to. So if anybody wants to continue the conversation, how can you be reached?
They can reach Cathriona on 05793 51780. Or as I said, if there are any queries, we're happy to take them by email, info@tullamorecu.ie, and just put your phone number on it and we'll call you back directly if you want to speak in person or if you want to come into the office. There's no problem.
I can make an appointment with myself.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Guys, thanks very much.
Thank you.